Estamos aquí con Kyle de Portugal. Hi, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. And how are you?
I'm doing great. You are coming back to Mexico next week. How are you feeling about this?
Oh, we're always so pumped to come back. It's like one of the, from a performer's point of view, it's one of the most fun places in the world to play music. You guys are just like always like so awesome. Like the best fans ever.
Really passionate, aren't they?
Very, very passionate. Yeah. It always feels like there's kind of like a cultural thing to it where I'm just like, this is insane. Like it's not like that where we come from.
Of course, and this is your first solo show in Monterrey. You were in a festival a couple of years ago. How are you feeling now coming back here solo?
Oh, it's so much like playing a festival is like super cool, and we played Corona Capital a couple times, and like it's absolutely like insane. But playing your own show is like you got to play longer. You don't have like the sun beating down on you. There's something that's not always fun about playing music in like the beating hot sun. Like you can get some lights and some atmosphere, and yeah, hopefully we always want to like play longer sets because we just have so much catalog to pull from. So hopefully we can just play a lot longer and yeah, we are stoked about it. It's going to be great.
Of course, but what can we expect from the show?
We've been like, we just got up to we were playing so many songs. Like we were sometimes we would just play like a whole album, like, and it would be kind of different albums every night. Sometimes we'll play like Evil Friends and in its entirety, or Chris Black in its entirety. But we've been trying to play like a bunch of new stuff that we want to play. There's like a handful of songs we always kind of feel like we should play, Feel It Still and things like that. And then we've been like diving back to like some of our earlier records, like Satanic Satanists and stuff, and pulling like just like some old cuts out of there that we really. It's really difficult for us to figure out what songs we're going to play, and we kind of just leave it up in the air and decide how we're feeling.
Would you like to like keep it special, like keep it moving, the set list?
Yeah, it can get stale if you just play the same thing every night. So, but I do know we're like squeezing in like more songs than we have before in the past into our set.
Of course, and now speaking about new music, what can you tell me about your latest record, Chris Black Changed My Life?
Yeah, I mean, that was like a very personal record for the band, especially like lyrics and stuff like that. Um, and we made the record with this guy Jeff Basker, who's just like the coolest. I mean, I'm a piano player. This guy is an amazing piano player. He like produced My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy for Kanye, and he just comes from this like really, really, really wild just mix of genres. Like he can play anything, whether it's jazz or classical, or he's an incredible musician. I gotta say, it was a real joy making the record with him.
Yeah, like it had been a while since the latest record, and yeah, I knew that it was dedicated to someone really special to you guys.
Yeah, Chris was a close friend, and it's just one of those things where sometimes you like wait till it's like too late, to like like all of us have people that changed our lives and have done these things for us, and make sure you tell those people that, because sometimes it's like too late and there's no reason not to. Chris, it was just so out of the blue, and just like took us like, he'd come on tour with us. He was like the heart of the group, and he just meant so much to us.
And you were able to heal and to put these feelings into the new record.
Yeah. And I will say we're gonna probably go in to do another one this year. So we're not gonna try to make those big. We used to do an album every single year, and we want to get back to that kind of thing. Where you just make them, knock them out, and keep making new music. So
Okay, we can expect a lot of Portugal.
mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, that's the plan.
yeah, something that really stood out for me from the new record, it's this collaboration with one of our Mexican queens, Natalia Lafourcade. How did this happen?
I'm not, I think that was our singer John. Yeah, did that happen? And we had some other songs too with some other collabs that didn't quite make the record that I really want. I was really hoping because they had Spanish in them and stuff. But yeah, I'm actually not sure. I think she was a friend of either Jeff or John's, and did that collab. Sorry, I wish I knew more.
Yeah, no, it was a nice surprise to see. Like, it was really nice to see her featuring in your album.
Yeah, of course.
And what would you say are your top five artists of all time? Like the five artists that inspire you, that keep inspiring you.
Oh, I mean, I love the Beatles. I love Elliott Smith. Um, Gosh, as a band, we all come from like such different genres. Like, there's like this whole like, like Pantera is a very important to our band. There's like a metal side of things. Uh, I think the Beastie Boys are like super super important to us, and honestly, like Wu-Tang, like it was like Wu-Tang and the Beatles were like the two things that was the goal when the band was started. It was like Wu-Tang meets the Beatles, so they always both of those hold very very close to us.
Wars and the name was inspired by David Bowie, right?
Yeah, David. Oh shit, David Bowie could be one of those five too. Yeah, it was like a character. Like he is like you make these like alter egos as an artist, and it's always like kind of like freeing to do. It's not me. It's like Ziggy Stardust. So it was Portugal was this alter ego, but it was always going to be like a group of people, not just one guy like Bowie. So the idea was, what if his name was like the name named after a country? Because there are a bunch of people with one voice. So it was just totally random, but it was like Portugal is his name, and he's the man.
That was the first country I can think to
Yeah,
mind.
yeah. Just I'm glad it was. That was a good one to pick because Portugal's beautiful.
Of course, it was really creative, and something that also really stands for me is all the activism that you guys have done. Like, you have a foundation. How did this come to mind? You've helped indigenous communities, and you currently are having this PDTM foundation.
Yeah, it's actually interesting how it came about. We were in Australia, and I mean, this is a long time ago, maybe like 2013, and we were supposed to go. They do a thing there called Welcome to Country, where they have like an elder come out and like give you permission to play and talk, and we were talking with them in the back for like a couple hours, and the next morning we were supposed to go play some TV show, some like Good Morning kind of TV show, and they had made some shitty racist kind of comments, and there was like a bunch of protesters there. But we found out, and we were like, they told us the night before at the show, and we were like, oh, we're not gonna play that. And then like the label people were like, what do you mean you have to like play? We were like, no, we're not gonna do it. So we didn't go. And then like a bunch of people like just reached out to us and we're like, you guys not doing that, like got it more attention than we've been able to get trying to do it. And that was like how it kind of started with our introduction to it. And we were like, oh man, could we do this and like, keep it up? So we have people come out every single night, and we hang out with them and talk to them. And the foundation's it's kind of its own beast, but it was just some people try to like support certain things and you start like spreading yourself thin, and this whole issue was just like like an umbrella for it had like human rights, like all these different things that we felt strongly about. So we've just been sticking with that as like our main focus. But we have people come up every night, and we're just trying to always have it develop and just like have a conversation with them where we're not, that's what they said the problem was in Australia, was that it was like two white people on both sides having the conversation. It's like, well, that doesn't seem right. So yeah, the foundation's been very very cool. We've met a lot of amazing people through it.
It's amazing what you guys are doing. Any message that you would like to give to the fans that are waiting here in Monterrey for you finally back
Oh,
so many years?
I mean, I don't just say this. It's one of our favorite places to come and play music, and like we could not be more stoked to be coming and playing our own show. Like it's going to be very memorable, and very fun. I know that for sure.